California parents horrified after Democrats in the state push a new bill that gives therapists the power to take children as young as 12 years old away from their homes and allow them to enroll in mental health facilities without any parental consent.
Erin Friday is a California mom and a leader with the parent advocacy group Our Duty, who just testified in front of lawmakers against this bill and joins us now. Erin, good morning to you, but tell us, what did you say was so concerning, other than the obvious, when you testified?
Well, what I pointed out was the fact that this is an abrogation of parental rights once again. And here in California, it's almost as if we get to parent our kids until they're age 12 and then the state gets to take them. So I call this bill the state-sanctioned kidnapping bill because there doesn't need to be any allegation of abuse against a parent or a serious threat of suicide of the child before a school counselor can unilaterally decide to take that child and place them in a residential facility. In the world of transgenderism, that means that a child who goes to a school counselor and says that they are transgender and that their parent won't support them, that child can be whisked off to a LGBTQ community facility and not come home from school that day. So this bill is terrifying, and it should terrify every parent in the country, because what we do here in California gets passed along in other states.
And I think your description of this is very apt. When we think of kidnapping, we often think of a guy with a gun forcing somebody into a truck. Really, this amounts to kidnapping by pen. And basically, when I hear this, I think if a parent has an argument with a 12-year-old child, which every single parent and 12-year-old child will argue at some point, if that child wants to, they can basically make a case to be removed from that home, and the parents have no say in it. Am I hearing this correctly?
That's correct. That's correct. The parents are not involved, and the parents are not, there's not even an allegation of abuse. There's not an allegation of any problem at the home. So a school counselor, and let's talk about who these counselors are. Their caliber is not very high. These are counselors who are indoctrinators, and they get to decide where your child goes that evening. It's just a terrifying bill.
So when they tried to reason with this, the bill tries to justify the move because, quote, over 1/2 of surveyed youth reported that not being able to get permission from their parents or guardians was sometimes or always a barrier to accessing mental health services. I mean, did they ever consider that maybe it was because they were 12 years old and the fact that the parents should know what is best for their kids?
Well, I always ask the question, what is this based on? Where is the data coming from? I don't believe that data is even close to being true. There was a bill, this bill originated in 2010, and it was supposed to stop suicide. It was supposed to decrease suicide in the state of California. When this bill was originally proposed, it permitted 12-year-olds to get mental health counseling without parental consent. That's it. And since 2010, the number of 10 to 14-year-olds who have committed suicide has increased. Similarly, with those kids who are 15 and 25, the suicidality has increased. So the bill failed. It failed 10 years ago, and instead of repealing the bill, they're doubling down on the bill and giving more power to school counselors and mental health providers.
Big picture here, Erin. What's going on here? I mean, why are states like California, not just California, but like California, trying so hard to eliminate the rights of parents and give those very rights to the government?
That's a very good question. They're trying to destroy the family. And look, I'm a Democrat. This is coming from a Democratic family. I don't know what's going on in our country right now, but certainly parents are looked at as pariahs, and the state is looking at is taking the place of parents' rights, including teachers and administrators and mental health providers. So I don't know. It's pure destruction of the family. That's all I can think of.
You know, Aaron, I think a lot of people would argue that being a Democrat is nothing near what we're seeing with this far left attitude that they're having with situations like this. But my question is, what's in it for these people trying to push this so hard?
Money. It's always money. It's money and sex. This is the answer to everything.
It's funny you say that.
So these.
Yeah, the reason I say it's funny you say that, because when I was in California in law school, I had an entertainment law professor, who basically said, when you want to figure out why anything happens in the entertainment industry specifically, it all boils down to money and sex. So when you said that, like, the alarm bells just went off in my head, because it's not just entertainment now, it's every aspect of our life, Aaron.
That's correct. That's correct.
Well, for people who are not from California and have never lived there, when you hear that, it's startling. It's startling, it's concerning, especially for the future of America and our kids, because they are the future of America. Aaron Friday, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate you coming on.